Return to the once populated agricultural region of Khost in southern Afghanistan. This short video shows recent footage taken by RPA's field staff of its irrigation, agricultural and public health activities in Khost. Here RPA has recently opened its main field office. A second, smaller sub-office is located in the city of Gardez, north of Khost. These two centres provide the regional basis for RPA's activities in 4 provinces of southern Afghanistan: Paktika, Logar and Nangarhar. The first step in rehabilitating the Khost area was to help clean and repair essential irrigation channels, such as this one, so that Khost's rich agricultural land could be farmed once again. Alidaya Canal, seen here, was one of the first canals cleaned and repaired with RPA support in the nearby district of Shamal. RPA's irrigation program has also helped construct or repair flood protection structures, such as washes, siphons and culverts. Other structures include intake dams, aqueducts and diversion boxes. RPA's engineers have also supervised villagers in cleaning and repairing their traditional Karez irrigation systems. These carry water up from the water table to the surface via a system of centuries-old man-made tunnels. Storage buildings have also been constructed for supplies of emergency wheat seed and fertilizer. These activities are either carried out under RPA's regular irrigation program, funded by a Dutch donor, Stichting Vluchteling, in which projects are selected after surveying several possible project sites, or they are implemented under separate contracts with the UN Food and Agricultural Organization, the UN Development Programme, and the UN World Food Programme. Project selection depends on the number of hectares which will be irrigated after the rehabilitation of the irrigation system. It also depends on the number of beneficiaries and the cost of rehabilitation per head of the benefiting population. In the last 2 years, RPA has shifted its strategy from mainly cleaning basic Karez systems towards bigger construction projects that benefit more people and which bring more land under irrigation. Tauda Canal in nearby Lakan is RPA's biggest construction project completed to date, with support from Stichting Vluchteling. The intake dam, which diverts river water into Tauda Canal, was completed last of all during the dry season. The 7-kilometre-long canal was opened in February this year by the governor of Khost. It now irrigates 600 hectares of agricultural land, benefiting an estimated 10,000 people. This project includes siphons to channel the irrigation water under riverbeds, culverts to protect roads from flooding by irrigation water, and washes designed to allow floodwater literally to wash over the irrigation channel, which has been enclosed in protective concrete. RPA RPA has established its agricultural program in 18 districts in the provinces of Paktia, Paktika and Logar. In each district, RPA has set up an agricultural rehabilitation centre, where fruit and forestry saplings are produced and poultry are bred. With plant material provided by FAO, several demonstration trials are also conducted with cereal, vegetable and bean crops. At each centre, RPA extensionists are responsible for conducting training courses for farmers in different agricultural techniques and practices, for example, seed multiplication, orchard management, and poultry keeping. They also provide technical assistance to farmers who have received inputs, such as seed, fruit trees, and chicks, through RPA. Lal Mohammed and Mohammed Sharif from RPA's agricultural program are here running a plant protection training course for local farmers. Although plant protection is not very common in Afghanistan, RPA conducts these training courses to show farmers how to use chemicals safely. RPA also tries to introduce natural methods of plant protection, such as introducing disease-resistant varieties, or by advising farmers to plant crops earlier or later to avoid certain diseases. At some of the agricultural rehabilitation centres, RPA has constructed small hatcheries to produce improved breeds of chicks. Incubators, which were specially designed for Afghan conditions, are used. After hatching, the chicks are kept for 6 weeks before they are distributed to key farmers. These key farmers have been trained by RPA in poultry management and have constructed a chicken room on their own farms in accordance with RPA specifications. RPA assists the farmers for the first months with chicken feed and the necessary vaccinations. These older chicks comprise the breeding flock at the RPA centre. They are replaced once a year to maintain the quality of the breed. On a small scale, RPA tries to introduce simple food processing techniques, such as apricot drying, shown here using the sun's heat intensified by the use of plastic sheeting. Other areas of food processing include the production of tomato puree and jams from locally grown fruits. RPA's beekeeping program purchases bee colonies in Pakistan and transports them to Afghanistan for sale to key farmers. Every key farmer receives between 5 and 10 bee colonies. During training, farmers learn how to multiply their colonies, how to extract honey, and how to build beehives. RPA tries to identify disabled people who are very often able to work in this type of activity. Several disabled people have thus been selected and assisted in beekeeping in the past few years. These and other key farmers quickly reap the benefits of the program. Many have already propagated new colonies on their own farms and have sold honey, a popular delicacy, at local markets. Demonstration trials are an important activity carried out at the agricultural rehabilitation centres. Locally developed improved varieties are tested together with improved varieties from other countries. Besides providing valuable technical information from the results of fertilizer and variety trials, farmers can see the different crops and their yielding capacity. After finalizing the trials, the results are given to FAO for further analysis by them at CIMMYT and ICADA, international research stations in Mexico and Turkey. On this vegetable demonstration plot, cucumber is intercropped with fruit trees to maximize on space, light, land and nutrients available. RPA promotes the importance of vegetables to farmers in their diet. Summer vegetable seed and winter vegetable seed is distributed to farmers for vegetable production and for seed multiplication purposes. At all 18 of its agricultural rehabilitation centres, RPA has set up forestry nurseries to provide forestry trees to communities. Key farmers are also selected to set up potentially commercially viable woodlots. Although concern about problems caused by deforestation is not yet widespread, interest in forestry is increasing. A variety of fruit trees are also produced at the agricultural rehabilitation centres. Interest among farmers in fruit trees is high, and fruit trees are being planted in all the 18 areas. Besides distributing fruit trees to farmers to develop their own orchards, RPA started in 1994 to establish fruit tree nurseries with private key farmers. These farmers receive training in nursery management, such as the pruning techniques demonstrated here by an FAO expert, to remove dead wood and to allow sunlight to all the leaves. Eventually, they will be capable of producing saplings for sale to local farmers, thus replacing the RPA nurseries at the agricultural rehabilitation centres with private enterprises. RPA's public health programme focuses on preventive rather than curative health activities in rural areas where access to medical services is limited. These preventive measures include vaccination for women and children, sanitation, the construction of latrines, and the installation of clean drinking water supply systems. RPA's vaccination team are visiting a village where children are being vaccinated against all the common childhood diseases. Registration is an important part of the programme. Each mother and child vaccinated is registered to facilitate follow-up with the next dose. As the injection is given, parents are told about the possible side effects and about the importance of completing the vaccination series on time to ensure that their children are fully protected. As very few clinics exist in the Khost area, RPA's vaccinators provide a mobile service, visiting villages several times a year. They also participate in countrywide mass immunization campaigns organized by the Afghan Ministry of Public Health, UNICEF, and the UN World Health Organization. Disposable syringes and needles are used, 1 per dose given. These are then counted at the end of each day to ensure that none are missing and remain behind as a health hazard. They are then carefully disposed of by burning. All RPA's water supply systems rely on gravity to power the water from its source to the distribution points. Construction starts with the survey and selection of a water source, a spring or karez, in the surrounding mountains. The source is then capped to prevent contamination. From here, the water is channeled to a reservoir constructed from cement and local stone. PVC pipes then carry the water in trenches dug by the community down to the village below. The number of distribution points is determined by the size of the village and the number of people living in it. Sufficient water should be available at these taps to satisfy the current population's needs and for up to 10 years after the project has been completed. After construction, the systems are monitored on a regular basis to see if the system is still functioning. If it is not, RPA's water supply engineers advise the villagers on how to repair and maintain the system. In the Khost area, RPA sanitarians have helped many families to construct private pit or surface latrines. RPA provides each family with a slab. The family must themselves build or pay for construction of the latrine structure. Some families prefer the cheaper pit latrines, which require fewer construction materials. A pit of 2 to 3 meters will last an average family from 3 to 5 years. Others prefer the more costly surface latrines, where the waste decomposes for 9 months and can then be used as manure on farmland.